This week on This and That Garage, things were supposed to be simple, but per usual here at MLS Central, things didn't go quite to plan. No, sir. The plan was to get this old pile of junk truck a few steps closer to being back on the road. Well, we got exactly one step closer, then everything turned into a disaster. I'll let it speak for itself, so let us get busy. Just a quick recap on this vehicle. Bought it from one of my nephews a few years ago, mid-project. We worked on it a few times, trying to get the little feller back on the road. And, well, we have successfully put a 5.3 LS carburetized with, look over in here, with an HEI distributor mounted on the front. Where's that? Right here. Right in there somewhere. If you're wondering about that, well, you have to go back a few months to check those videos out on me. Rigging that up works great. Anyway, we're back on it. Going to work on it for a couple weeks and hopefully get her back on the road this time around. Fingers crossed. Let me turn you around and show you what we're going to do first. I had intentions of putting the body on first because that was really bothering me. Plus, with the wheels I got over there that we're going to use, I wanted the body on to see if they're going to fit because they may not fit, maybe too wide. Well, I put that front fender on up here a little while ago just to see what it looked like, and I was like, nope, ain't gonna work. Sits up too high. Y'all know when I build a hot rod, I don't want it sitting up like four-wheel drive. Well, I'll tell you what, let me put that fender on there and I'll just show you real quick what I'm talking about. Now step back and look at it. No, sir, that is not gonna work. Look at the room, fellas. You can crawl under that truck. That ain't a hot rod to me. No, sir. Hot rods are lowered. Let's just see what kind of clearance we got. We got dang near a foot of clearance to the fender. That's way too high. So here's what I immediately did. Got on the interwebs, went and ordered me some lowering apparatus. 3 and 5 inch drop springs are in that box right there. 3 in the front, 5 in the back. My nephew said he thinks he remembers putting 2-inch drop spindles. It don't really look like it's been dropped 2 inches, but maybe. But we are definitely going at least 3 here and 5 there. So instead of putting the body on right now, while we got the room, let's just go ahead and change springs out. Then we'll put the body on. Then we can start seeing if our wheels are going to fit or not. But before we get to working on this old bucket of bolts over here, I think I'm going to open me up a pack of Grooms gummies. Let me tell you all about them. Grooms are a convenient, comprehensive formula packed into a snack pack a day, right here. This isn't a multivitamin, a greens gummy, or a prebiotic. It's all those wrapped into one, plus some, at a fraction of the cost. They are vegan, nut-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, no synthetic sweeteners or dyes, and they have a low sugar or no sugar option. Here's a little fella right here. Pretty neat looking. They got a apple and, I don't know, maybe cherry flavor. Pretty good. Over 35,000 research publications support the ingredients in Grooms, and the research also shows gummies are more absorbable than tablets. They support gut health, beauty. As you can see, I don't need any help there with this pretty face, but they also support immunity, recovery, and they have cognition benefits. I could definitely use some help in that department with all the doomishness that goes on around here. If you would like the benefits that these ingredients offer, well, click the link in the description below and get up to 52% off Grooms products. Appreciate it, Grooms, for sponsoring this week's video. Let's get back to work on this old pile of garbage. First thing we got to do is get this little feller jacket up. I think what we'll do is put, well, they won't give him a hose. Come on, man. I think what we'll do is put this jack on the frame, jack her to the sky, and then I'll put a floor jack under the arm, you know, because we got to get that, what's that called? That spring out. Going up. We'll put this little feller up under that A-arm, put some pressure on it, then we will take loose the upper ball joint and then separate that and then lower this, get the spring out, put the new spring-a-langa in, and put it back together. Approximately like that. Now, gotta get this cotry pin out of the way. Oh, my hand, oh, my finger, oh, my pinky. All right, I had to break it, but I got it. Now, I need a small wrench. 3/4 it is, and it's not tight. Christopher, do I need to do a nut and bolt check on this truck? Christopher's my nephew that I bought it from, by the way. Okay, done with that wrench. That goes up, that goes out of the way. We let this little feller down. I'm gonna step back. Well, I'm a little scared. Let me get something to throw at it. See what happens. Where's my hammer? I'm a little bit chicken when it comes to these springs. Let me pitch this hammer at it. Well, it's got a little tension still. Why won't it come down? Oh, the shock has got it, you big dum-dum. Let me loosen that there shock up. Then we'll go on down with it. Remember that cognition help I need? Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Now, let us go down with it. I don't think it's got a whole lot of pressure. No, we're good. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm stuck. What in the world? I do this, I think, every single time. I do something to make it where I'm stuck. I can't get my jack out from under it. So I can go on down a little more. Let me work on this a minute. I'll be back. There we go. There it is. Let me go get the new one after I clean all this grass and rust. Very quickly, let me tell you about the new merch we got. We have 3 new lockjaw designs. I love each and every one of them. I'll put them up on the screen one by one right here. I think my very, very favorite one is the old burnt photo look one. That's just, man, that thing is sharp. It sure is. Anyway, check out the description below. Click that link, go get you some merch. Let me remind you, I do have several different designs. You can mix and match them. Yep, you can click the, I think it's custom up top. You can put 2 or 3 designs on the front, on the back. You can put them on the sleeves. The hoodies, you can put a design on each side of the hood. Sure can. Go wild with it. Go get you some. Let's get back to working on this old truck. I ain't sure if I need to take off that bump stop or not. I'll wait on that. We'll put everything back together and bounce up and down, see what it looks like. Well, here's the new one next to the old one. That's about 3 inches probably. This coil maybe, yeah, this coil's bigger around. Anyway, let's put it in and see what happens. Did it go like this with this up top? I think so. And is it clocked? I don't know. Let me look and see. Yeah, I see a place right there where it's clockable. Oh yeah, this is heavy. Yeah, buddy. All right, feeling of this. The end of that coil needs to be about 12-ish o'clock. Let's go up with it. Up, up, and away! There she is, fellers. Let's get this back on here. Come on, man. I don't know. He tore this whole front end apart, put new bushings and everything. And I don't know if he put shims back willy-nilly or if he put them back. I'd say he put them back, you know, like it was. But most of those shims will probably have to be took off. I know we still got a lot of weight to put on it. That'll bring this down, and that should lay them in some. But we don't have that much weight to put on. No, sir. We'll just have to line it up best we can. Heave-ho. Heave-ho. Oh, yeah. Oh, crap. I like to busted my hind end right then. Sure enough, did. Whew. Could have been terrible. All right, let me get that hole lined up. That don't look bad. Let me get a cottree pin. Let's see if this one will fit the hole. Yes, sir, it will, but you know what? We have an issue. The hole is below the cutouts in the castle nut. It's probably supposed to be a whoosher there. So I got to take it back apart, and hopefully I got a whoosher big enough to fit that. Then I'll put the nut back on in the cottery pin. I shall return momentarily. I got two, so I don't think one is thick enough. Let's try this out. Heave-ho! I'm going to take this bottom one, take the cottery pin out, and check the tightness of that one because that upper one was loose. Let me get that done. I'm gonna go to the other side, do the same thing. When I get back, we'll look about some wheels, maybe put fenders on up here and see what we got. Christopher, that's my nephew who I bought this from. Oh, what is wrong with you? Let me turn you around and show you what you did wrong. Well, we know this nut was loose. I think what he's trying to do, this is his first build, by the way, so, you know, he's learning. But I think what he was trying to do was just get the slot in the nut lined up with the hole in the stud. No, sir. Firstly, you want to crank that little feller down tight. Then you worry about getting them lined up. Bottom one was loose, too. I turned it probably a turn. Then I got to looking at the caliper. It's like, where is the bleeder? Well, it's on the bottom, right there. Goes on the top because air bubbles rise. You want your bleeder on the top. Let me get that other spring changed out. I will swap sides with the calipers. Then we'll try our wheels out. Working on this side here. This nut was finger tight. Christopher, what's wrong with you? I'm just going to give y'all a little tech tip. See your hole here in this stud was going this way. Well, it hits inside here when you're trying to put the cottery pin in. They're hard to turn, but if you do this right here, wobble it and twist it at the same time, it'll turn. Put it front to back. Makes it a whole lot easier to get that in there. Well, as per usual here, y'all didn't think we was going to get away with no doomousness, no MLS. We got them both over here. The doomousness is, when I was putting the spring in, I noticed the bottom A-arm has a slot where the bottom of that spring goes. It's clockable. Guess what? That side over there is about 180 out. Yep, so gotta redo that. That's another thing, you know, we do around here regularly. We do it twice because we do it right. The MLS-ness, I stripped the threads on this castle nut for this ball joint. Yep. I don't have any, so let me get online, see if maybe O'Reilly's or AutoZone or somebody has got one of these. Because you know, this could pop out, the wheel go in, and you know, it could create a lot more MLS. I've told y'all before, you have to cut MLS off at the pass. Yep, sure do. Anyway, let me see if I can find a nut, and then maybe we can try the wheels and tires on. Well, I fixed this spring pretty easily, and I don't like it. With no weight on this side over here, the spring just flops around. The reason I don't like that is because the top has a little thing it's got to sit over. And it could get cocked to one side, and this side's going to sit higher. So I'll just have to be mindful of that. If I ever jack it up and get all the weight off the wheel, when I let it down, I'll have to hit this with a hammer or something and make sure it's centered. Anyways, let me see if I can find a nut for that ball joint. Well, I'm back from Ireland, and as per usual, something ain't right. Nope. This is supposed to be a half 20, and it's just really wobbly and floppy. It does not belong on these threads, it acts like. See how wobbly that is? Yeah, I'm scared to use that. Yep. And then 7/16 right there is too small. So I thought, well, maybe it's metric. So I got my metric die set there. Let's run through them and see. We'll see, that won't even come off now. Anyway, I'll tell you what, before we do that, here's the calipers. Let us measure what we got. Threads will be smaller, you know, than half. But not a whole lot. This is showing about 470. Well, actually a little under 470. Makes me think it might be metric. That's why I got these out. So let's try this one. What is this? M12 by 1.5. I don't know metric. You know, you got 1.5, 2. Which one is the finer thread? This one here Doesn't act like it wants to go on. This one here's going to be too big, I can tell you that right now. Yep, it just slips right on. I don't know if it's metric, standard. You know, my nut didn't run all the way up here, so the threads shouldn't be stripped up here, but they're all the same size. And 30 thousandths under is a little bit much. Well, I'll tell you what, let me go get a 1/2 inch bolt and we'll measure it, see what it is. 490. So either this is metrical or it's just garbage, Chinese garbage junk, and the threads are too small. The only thing I can figure out is, you know, the original nut stripped out, and that's probably due to this being undersized because it's Chinese junk. Yep. You know, this is new. My nephew did all new ball joints too. So I will have to go to the store tomorrow and get a ball joint. I really need this down off of this jack so we can do the back. Let me put this back together with this nut lightly. I'll put a cotter pin through it, and that'll hold good enough so we can work on the back. Well, I got this back together. I'm swapping the calipers now. Once I get that done, we will probably go back to the other side and try out some wheels. I bought wheel adapters. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. Let me get this on. I gotta let it down. We'll go ahead and put the fender on. Then we'll start working on the wheel area. Going down. Let's get this little feller put back on here once again. Approximately in that area there. I don't know if that's the right thread. They may be fine thread. If they are, I have no fine thread bolts. Nope. It was regular threads. Let's go back up. We'll put our wheel adapter on and try the wheel. Wheel adapter. Not a fan of them at all. But I can't afford a set of wheels right now. So we're going to use some wheels that I have. These are 5-on-5. The wheels I have are 5-on-4 3/4. Chevy truck to Chevy car. The way you can do that, well, you can re-drill these, and we may end up doing that. Or you can use these adapters. I've heard horror stories of these, though, because they have a tendency to loosen up these inside ones. You can Loctite them. They sent Loctite with them. We're not going to right now. We're just, you know, test fitting. But if I decide to use these, then we will definitely be Loctiting these lug nuts right here. Absolutely. These are not the right size lug nuts. So that's, yep, that's good. What in the world, man? It's just this, yep, from the beginning of today, it hasn't been good. Nope. Let me see if I got some lug nuts that might fit in there. If it ain't one thing, it's something else all the dad blame time. I don't think these will fit. No, they're too small. So that's good. That's real good. Yep. This will conclude putting these wheel adapters on, because these lug nuts are going to stick out, and put the wheel up here and it will hit. Yep. So there you go, fellers. I got a plan. These are the lug nuts that came with the adapter. They're what's supposed to hold that on. You know, they're short enough to fit down in here. Well, of course, they're too small for these, but they will screw on to here. So we'll use them for the wheel. And then these here, I'll have to cut off short enough to be flush here. We'll use that to mount to here. Maybe then we can see if our wheel will fit. How long are these? They are approximately exactly 5/8. So I gotta make a 5/8 mark. Approximately exactly right there. Let me cut both these off. Well, there's a one. Let me get the other one done. We'll try it out. That's hot! Hotter than the devil himself. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's see if we can't make this combination of parts work long enough just to test this out. All right, let me get the wheels. We'll give them a try. You have seen these wheels before. They were on the S10. The reason we're going with them is because I can't afford to buy another set of wheels. Lockjaw broke me. Yep, sure did. Well, if you will recall, though, the reason these are not on the S10 anymore is it had a vibration in the front and the back. I thought it was wheels because I've had, several sets of tires on it over the years. Nothing I did would get rid of the vibration. I thought, well, let's put wheels on it. I did, and it seemed to fix it, but nope, it's back now. The front, you can feel it shaking the steering wheel. It'll quit. 5 seconds later, do it again. And then the back, it's on its own frequency, and it'll shake the truck and it'll quit. It'll shake the truck and quit. The only thing left are, tires and wheels. It could be an axle bent, but I don't think so. It could be something in the drive shaft. Very possible because the S10 has a 2-piece drive shaft. Could be the carrier bearing. Up front, I don't know, unless the rotor is out of balance. The only thing I can think of up there. Anyway, we're going to use these wheels, hopefully, if they'll fit, stick in here and not hit when we turn. Let's see what they do. Will it? Or won't it? Let me let her down. Going down. I just heard the spring pop. Let me see if it's in place. I don't think it is. Nope, I might have a pry bar on that. Ooh, there she went. It dropped a 1/2 inch or more. Well, we're sticking out past this, but it's not lined up. That tire's flat too. Let's look at the front and see if I think it will come back in flush. Yeah, it's probably hard for y'all to see on camera, but it's got to come in at the top quite a bit. I'm hoping we can accomplish that because there's not a whole lot of shims in there. I'll tell you what, let me jack it back up and I'll take them shims out and we'll see what it does. I am feeling of the amount of shims. If it's 3/8 of an inch, it'll surprise me. I don't think it's gonna do it unless there's a big one back there that I can't see. Well, there's one bunch of shims. Y'all see how thick it is. The other may be a wee bit thicker, but not much. And this, without any shims, it's liable to mess up the caster. And yeah. Oh, wait a minute. There's a ginormous spacer-like apparatus that's probably 1/2 inch thick. That needs to come out, and then we can use shims. If I take these bolts loose, that's liable to go flying. So let me get a jack under here to keep that spring from trying to pop out. I'll take these nuts out, get the spacers out, put that back together, maybe put these shims back on, we'll see. Yep, that's what we got to do. Ode to the joys of hot rodding vehicles. Yep. There's one. There's the other one there. Let's see how thick they are. They're approximately exactly 3/8, a little over 3/8. All right, let me put this back up here. Come on now. Get up there. These have grease fittings. Of course, they're pointed the wrong way. I'll have to turn them. I don't see any evidence of grease, so y'all remind me. You didn't remind me on Lockjaw. I didn't grease a thing on it. Sure didn't. We might still have to take them shims out. I don't know. Let me let it down. We'll see. Going down once again. No, sir. Still leaning out at the top. Y'all can't see it. It ain't a whole lot, but I imagine we're going to have to remove the rest of them shims, and then hopefully we can put some back and get our caster right, because without caster, when you turn, it keeps turning. Caster is what makes it drive straight and return to straight. Anyway, let me pull them out real quick. I'll be right back. Trying to be real still and hold it level. Y'all still can't see it, but it's leaning in now just a touch. So we might be able to get some type of caster in it, hopefully. I was going to put my little alignment thing on. Then I realized, dummy, this is aluminum and it won't stick to it. So I'm not real sure how we're going to line it up, unless, I guess I could put some steel wheels on it. Yeah, them right there maybe. Those will, let me think, take the cap off. Yeah, and those steel wheels, the dust cap inside on the rotor, take that off and it sticks to that. That's right. Anyway, let me go do the other side and we'll step back and see what it looks like. Well, I got the other side done. Gonna put this fender on. It's a little rough. Yeah, caved in bad here, up here. I think it's it was sitting out in the cow field. You know, they'll use this stuff as a rubbing post. So we're gonna do a wee bit of body work, and by body work I mean whoop on it with a big old hammer. Well, better than it was. Let's go put it on. Well, what do we look like looking at the front here? It's hard to tell. That fender is awful, man. It's still caved in a bunch right in here and right in here. But here, this looks normal. She sticks out just a little bit. It's laid in. I tell you what, we're probably not going to run those spacers because that's sticking out too far. Yep. I like my wheels out pretty far, but I think that's a little too much. What we're probably going to do, re-drill that rotor. I will study up on that tonight. I'll decide if that's what I want to do. Probably so. That'll move me an inch, and I think it'll look a whole lot better. She got some stance, though. Y'all probably can't tell on the camera, but let me get back here. That back end is jacked up, buddy. Well, look at the cab, bottom of the cab. Yeah, she's jacked up pretty good. I wouldn't mind having a little bit of stance, maybe a couple inches difference. Not this much. How much did we drop? Let me find my tape. We were at 12 inches, but these tires are 3 inches shorter than those. So, you know, take half of that off of one side. So 3, 4.5 should be 7.5 inches to the bottom of this. We're at 8.5. Close enough, yeah. Well, I believe that's going to do it for tonight, fellas. The old knees, they're saying, you're done. You're done. Going in the house, yep. I'm hungry too, wasting away to nothing. Tomorrow, we will do springs in the back. We'll get the bed on, except the floor. I'm going to put a wood floor in it. It's going to be a cheap one, but I am going to put a wood floor in it. Anyway, we'll get the back end done and then continue on doing all of it because it's got to be done. See y'all tomorrow. Today's the next day, and let me tell you, it's quite warm in here because I forgot to turn the air on. That one over there, I can do it remotely through my phone. This one here, I bought an adapter to do that. I just ain't hooked it up yet. But yeah, forgot to turn them on. It's about 82-ish, which ain't, you know, ain't hot, but it is hot when you're used to it being 65 in here. Oh yeah. Anyways, here's what my little pea brain has come up with for the front wheels. Let me turn you around and show you what I'm talking about. I was pondering on if I wanted to re-drill these rotors or not. How would I go about doing it? And I don't know if I showed y'all this yesterday or not. This is a wheel bolt pattern guide, gauge, whatever. It goes from 5.5, 5, 4 3/4, 4.5. That's Ford truck, Chevy truck, Chevy car, Ford car. I was going to try to use this as a template. Well, this hole in the center is too small to go over that, which I could, you know, I could cut that out on the lathe. That ain't nothing major. But then my pea brain finally started working. Said, hey, dummy, all you got to do on this adapter, knock these studs out, use those as your drill guide. There you go. You drill your holes out. Still ain't sure if I'm going to do that. This one ain't too bad as far as sticking out, but we do got to line it up, bring a top out just a wee bit. Not sure. This one over here, if we do that, I definitely have to fix the fender because, I mean, it's just majorly caved in here, and you see the tire sticking out too far. Got to make up my mind on that, but that won't be too bad. But here's another thing too. The 5-on-5 center part register is what you call it, like the center of the wheel here. I think it's bigger than these. I got to measure, but that ain't nothing major either. Chuck that up in the lathe and turn it down to the right size. The back ones, this is going to be not really a challenge, but sort of. Once again, the center register here, we'll have to cut it down. But we're going from 6 lug to 5 lug. And preliminary use of that wheel bolt pattern gauge shows that one of the holes is going to hit center of one of the 6 lug holes. Easy fix is just to weld one of the holes up and grind it now flat, and then you can re-drill it. To do that one, I will have to use this because I don't have any other way to do it. We'll have to cut this center part out. Probably, well, I don't know, I'll have to measure, but that'll have to be matched to the register on that axle. Put that up there, sort of bolt it in place lightly. Mark your holes, drill them. There you go. Right now, though, we don't worry about that. Right now, I want to get the springs changed out in the back here. But let me show you this. I was hoping to avoid this. But, well, let me just raise it up, and I'll show you. Well, you know, lockjaw sits pretty low now with the airbags. I'm having to run full pressure, 130 PSI, in the bags up front to keep him from bottoming out. I haven't bottomed out yet now that I'm doing that, but the ride's a little stiff. If I hit, you know, like a ripply section of road, it's like riding a bucking bronco, but otherwise it ain't too bad. But we are getting in the territory. Well, you can't really see it, but we are getting in the territory. Right here is where lockjaw is hitting. Well, right now this is the low spot. So we ain't quite there yet, but I cannot do anything about this. I can't raise it up with air because there ain't no airbags. Another thing too, I am going with a taller tire. This is just too skinny of a sidewall for this truck. I looked up, these are 245/40 17s. I looked up a 50 and it'll make it an inch taller. It's about 2 inch taller diameter, so half of that will be 1 inch taller. A 55 series will be 1.5 inches taller. That'll help us out that much more. So that's getting in the territory of being worried, but not yet. Let's zoom in. You can see it's probably 2.5 inches clearance. It'll probably be all right. That's just something to keep in mind. Anyway, let's get back here, change these springs out. We'll look at our ride height, and then we might go ahead and start putting the bed on and then get our wheel up here and see if it'll even fit before we decide that we're going to re-drill this. I just looked at the threads on these bolts. They are pretty bad looking. Yep, I done hit them with some P&B, but this might be the battle of the century trying to get these off. And I don't have any new bolts. I don't know. It come with these locators, but I don't know if it come with new bolts or not. I'll have to look in the box and see. Ooh, yeah, that is not going to be fun. Well, I'm just spinning on the head. That may be the wrong socket. Let me see. 3/4 11/16s. No, sir, 11/16s does not fit. So, may have to break out the plasma cutter and just cut the little feller off. Well, upon further inspection, we're going to cut this one with a plasma cutter, cut the head off. This one is a new bolt. That one down there, the head is broke on the bottom, so hopefully we can just drive the bolt up. This one looks like it'll come loose. If not, we'll cut it off too. That thoroughly scared the crap out of me. This one is a new bolt. Will it come loose easily? Oh yeah. Hopefully this one don't jump out and scare me. Oh, there it did. I thought the truck was falling. I got it supported with that jack. I think I had a little upward pressure on it is what it did. Ta-da! Now let me raise it up and I'll get the bottom bolts and then we'll pull them spring-a-langs out. Let us get in here and get these bolts loose. All right, let's see if this in here will come loose without a fight. Well, it's turning. Well, this feller here, oh, look at there. That ain't no step for a stepper, man. Hey! That looks like a new bolt too. I had to put these springs back under it. You know, when it was at my brother's house, so I could move it. Anyways, there's one spring-a-lang-a gone. This one, the head's broke off, so let's just whoop on it with a hammer and a punch. Well, it ain't really budging. That's not good. Can we pry it up? No, sir. It ain't coming loose. I can't get a good swing because it needs to be scooted that way. Let me see if I can do that. Hopefully I don't get carried away and knock it off the lift, because that would be terrible. Is that enough to get a good swing? Let's see. Yeah, let's try that. Ta-da! Look over there, buddy. All right, new spring, new little keeper here. Go approximately there. Your bolt goes up through hither. How does that sit? Something like that, I think. Let me get this other side on. We'll let her down and get the top done. Well, I got the other spring in, but I wanted to show y'all something so you don't make the same mistake I do. I think it's a mistake. Let me turn the light on so you can see. Firstly, I went from the bottom with the bolt. First of all, I don't like that. If this loosens up, falls out, this spring can go whee. If you put the bolt from the top, if your nut comes off, your bolt's still there to hold this in place. So I'm fixing to swap these around, put the bolt from the top. Also, only two of these little locating cups have the nuts welded to them. I don't know if it goes here or here. My thinking is it goes up there and you feed the bolt from the top. That way you're not fiddling with this, a nut and a washer, trying to get everything lined up. I don't know if it's right or not. That's how I'm gonna put it in. Anyway, let me swap these bolts around. That way, hopefully, you know, we won't lose a spring going down the road. Well, I forgot to let him down off the jack a little bit, so let's bring her on down. Hopefully we don't mash fingers or toes going the wrong way. Going down slowly, don't mash fingers or toes. All right, I'm barely touching the springs. Let me see if I can get these fellers put on there. All right. Oh, crap. Oh, my hand slipped. What in the world? Oh, yeah, we're started. I'm going about 1/64th of a turn each time. This is going to take a while. I'm going to get this done. I'll go over and do that one, and I shall return, and I'll show you what we're going to have to modify now that we've dropped her 5 inches in the back. Our exhaust is going to hit. Yep. Spring-a-langas are in. I'm fixing to let it down all the way, and I'm afraid we're going to have to modify the exhaust a lot more than I was wanting to. Here we go. Oh, yeah. We are sitting, the exhaust is sitting on the rear end. So that's good. That's real good. No, it ain't. It's got a little, maybe about 1 inch of travel. That ain't going to work, fellas. Nope. I was hoping to be able to move our panhard rod. Basically build one like we did on, what's that thing called out there? The square body lockjaw. Man, my brain is gone. Anyway, I was planning on building one like it, you know, mount it here and then run over here to the frame. But even if I do that, we got this big old chunk here, which we could cut that off, I guess. I will have to think on this. Well, it's going to hit right there, probably. That's some kind of a stiffening rib. I mean, we can cut that off too. You know, I got all kind of cutting equipment. I'll have to think on this right here. Yep. What I'm fixing to do right now, I'm going to go in the house and get me a sandwich because my belly's growling. Yeah, I told y'all I'm a growing boy. I'm wasting away to nothing. When I get done with that, we're gonna come back and I guess we'll start putting the bed on so we can mock the wheels up because they're liable to rub the bed. I don't know. We'll find out here in a little bit. Well, I am back from a little break and, well, I may or may not have fell asleep. That has a tendency to happen right after I eat. But I am back and I'm trying to get these thingamabobs where they go. I'm not real sure how this bed goes together because I've never put one together. We'll find out here in a little bit, I guess. These ones are gonna go here. And then I got one here. And then we'll have an extra one, you remember, because we shortened the bed. Let me get this bolted down. I ain't real sure I'm gonna do this by myself. Let's see what I can do. Maybe I can get her bolted in with a couple of bolts. Don't scratch the paint though. Well, that ain't worth a crap of twoing. Only 2 out of the 4 line up. If I can, that's really close too. Well, let's just get whatever we can right now to test the wheels, and then I might have to have some help actually bolting this up. I'm hoping, well, I don't know how I'm going to do this, fellas. Let's see. I was going to lean it up against this jack handle. Will it stay there? Let's get this block. Scoot it against the jack so it don't move, and then well, I can't reach it. Let me go down here. See if I can reach it. Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah, man. Not really. Well, I think I'm gonna have to climb up in there some kind of way. Here we go. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. All right, let's see what we can do right here. We are hitting the cab, so we're a little too close. I think I need to scoot back to this hole. That'll scoot me back ½ inch or so. Let me try that. All right, there's one. Let me get another one back there. Do I have one that lines up back here? Not really. Both of them need to go in, so I shouldn't have tightened these. Let me loosen them, see what we can do with that. Oh yeah, perfectamundo, man. Let me struggle with this one. Hopefully I learned something over there. Wait a minute. I got some old bolts I gotta cut out. I'm in a mess. I wonder, let's see. I ain't got nothing to lean this up against to. Let's see if this feller here will work. Oh yeah. That old compressor. I need to get that thing running one of these days. Tell you what, I'm gonna leave this loose until I get that front piece in. Going by the paint and this lip, I think it goes in like this. Pretty sure it does anyway. Get up. Stay. Come here, little buddy. Does that go? I guess it goes down in there like that. I don't know, fellas. I've never put a bed together before that I can remember. Well, there we go. By George, I got one in it. Let me go get one over there real quick before it falls apart. Ta-da! That's good enough for what I want to do right now, except let me put one bolt over there because we're scooting around. Well, I said I wanted some stance. By George, there's some stance. Camera probably won't pick it up real good, but there's, yeah, she jacked up in the back, which we do have really tall tires here, really short tires there. So I just looked up, these are what were they? 265/75 16s. What we're gonna run, well, these are 285/40 17, but we're probably gonna run a 50. I don't want that skinny a sidewall on this truck. Anyway, I looked up the difference, and that'll, if we go to a 285/50 17, that'll drop it 1.75 inches in the back. That'll probably close enough. Plus, you know, we're gonna come up in the front, what was it, 1 inch or so? Anyway, it don't look too bad, but our body line ain't lining up. Remember, when we shortened the frame, I forgot to measure these back cab mounts, so I halfway guessed. Well, I think I'm a little tall, so we may have to shave some off of the body mount, the rubber, to get these lines to line up, because I don't want to shim the bed up. I'd rather drop the back of the cab down. Anyway, what I want to do now, the reason I got that bed on there, that was a task by itself, by the way. I want to see if those wide wheels will fit in here without rubbing here, or the, what's this thing called? The wheelhouse? Yeah. So let me get her jacked up, get that wheel off. I got to knock the studs out so I can just put the wheel up there because, you know, the pattern don't match. And we'll check it out, see what it looks like. You know what? We might not get that wide tire on here at all. What in the devil? Now I gotta knock these studs out, so I can just set that wheel up here. Well, it won't match up completely because of that register difference, but we can get an idea. All right, will it or won't it? Well, it will. Let me let it down the truck to where this is sort of centered on the axle. That'll give us a better idea of what it's going to look like. Going down. What would it look like there? That ain't bad. Not bad at all. We ain't rubbing here, and we got another 3/8 to go in, you know, once we get the register cut. Now the next question is our wheelhouse. Let me go outside and get it. I'll put it on. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that looks good. Yep. I don't know if these are the same right and left or not. They look like they are, but is it going to fit, or are we going to have to widen these tubs? Let's see. Right there. And right there. Is there a hole that's supposed to line up with? Probably. Yeah, about right there. Let me get a bolt, stick in that so it don't move. All right, let us see. I don't feel, there's probably, I don't know actually. Let me raise it up so I can see better. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? We got room for days, fellas. Let me zoom in. Look at there. Yep, you can drive a truck through that, and then over here, oh, I can't get it on camera. Yeah, right there. We ain't gonna cut nothing. That is awesome. It sure is. Well, here's the deal. If we need more room, we've got that much. I can bend that up or cut it out, but it looks fine. Oh, yeah, buddy. Look here and get my hand up in there. That's awesome. Sure is. Plus, it's going to slide that way, like I said, probably 3/8 or so once we get that register cut where the wheel will sit flat on the axle. Yeah, I think we're going to be just fine and dandly. She's still a little bit jacked up in the back, more than I want. Which we're going to be an inch higher up there with a fatter tire. I said I didn't want this skinny of a sidewall, but honestly, it don't look bad. So we may leave this a 40. That way we won't go up anymore. Bring it up just a little bit. Yeah, I think she's going to be okay. I just came up here to check on our bump stop, and we got maybe an inch and a quarter. So I'm going to cut some of that bump stop off. I got a new ball joint for that other side too. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what. I meant to do this earlier. Let me measure the diameter. Remember how that other one was, what was it, a little under 470. Let me get this out of the package and I'll measure it. What do we have? We have approximately exactly, it's about the same thing. What in the world, fellas? Look at that. That's at 65. That's worse than the other one. That ain't worth crap. I may take this back and see if I can't find an AC Delco online. Yep. Is it wobbly? Oh yeah, look how wobbly that is. Let me go on down. Yeah. Yeah, I may take that back because I ain't worth crap. Sure ain't. Well, here's your little info on ball joint threads. If you don't want to hear it, well, fast forward a minute or two. M12, 12 millimeter bolt is real close to the 465 we're getting. That's probably what this is. And then I got my Mama, what are them called? The things like this, taps. Tell you, my brain is shot, fellers. Compared them, trying to find the thread pitch in millimeter. It's 1.25. I don't have an M12 by 1.25. Mine is, I think, 1.75, which is coarse. Anyway, it's metrics, 12 millimeter. But it's still way too loose. I'm not using that because I will probably strip it out again. Fooey on that, it's going back. If I find an AC Delco that don't cost an arm and a leg, we'll try that. Or might get some Duralast from AutoZone. I've always liked Duralast. The only reason I go to O'Reilly's is a whole lot closer. I ain't got to go through town. Anyways, didn't get a whole lot done today. Well, we got a lot of thinking and planning. I told y'all it's hard to video me thinking and planning. Well, I just can't. So it seems like I didn't get a lot done. Tomorrow, though, I've got to decide, which I think I've already made my mind up. Are we going to re-drill the rotors? We're definitely going to re-drill them. Yep. I'll have to weld one hole up. Anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll see y'all tomorrow. How's the next day? We are at the machine shop. First thing we got to do is knock these studs out because I got to get in here and indicate. Well, I got to indicate here too. I'll show you that in a minute, but let's get these knocked out. I do plan on reusing these, so I'm trying not to mess them up. And this is hard to do one-handed, so let me get this done. I'll get it on the lathe and I'll be back in a minute. Got them knocked out, and let me show you this. Let me tell you this firstly. It's really hot. I got the fan blowing. It's probably messing with my mic a little bit. I do apologize, but I'm not going to be hot. Anyway, I got them knocked out. I want to show you. You got ribs. Let me see. See there? They're all the way around it. Well, I was planning on, going center of these two holes with a new one. Well, it's right in the way. So, what I'm going to try to do is eyeball. I guess I could probably measure. That'd help me out too. But we're only going in, this is a 5x5 bolt circle. What that means is the first number, 5 holes, and it's on a 5-inch diameter circle. We're going to 5 on 4 3/4, so we're only moving in an 1/8 inch either side. So that helps me eyeball this. I'll get a measurement and hopefully I can avoid these ribs. I don't really want to have to fool with them, cutting them out. Anyways, let me get that figured out. We'll get her on the lathe and go to cutting on it. Well, I've discovered something just a few minutes ago. This bore here. It's a certain size for 5 on 5, a certain size for 5 on 4 3/4. The forwards are the same way. Here's the 4 3/4. I thought I was going to have to use this to help line up stuff, but as you see, it don't fit this because it's the 4 3/4. This is 5 on 5. I thought I was going to have to cut this down to this size for these wheels to fit. Well, I forgot. Most aftermarket wheels, this hub bore is a lot bigger than the stock size. This one here it fits over here perfectly. I mean, it's pretty tight, so that's awesome. I won't have to machine this down. All I gotta do is drill my holes. But here's something that's messing me up. You know, since we found these little nubs here in the center, what I was going to do was take our wheel adapter, put it on there, bolt it down where it'll be centered, and then make punch marks with the 4 3/4 side. But I can't do that because those nubs are in the center there. So I can't use, if I just cock this over the side, it wobbles back and forth. See that? Hear that? And it'll throw me off center, and the wheel will be doing that going down the road. Can't have that. So what I'm gonna have to do, I can either grind these nubs away underneath here, or I can cut the center of this out to fit this tight, and then get this centered. I got it marked somewhere. Maybe it's the other one. I don't remember. No, there it is right there. Anyway, cut this center out to match this here. Get it tight where it don't wobble. Line it up on my mark. Drill the first hole. Put a stud through it. Bolt it down where this won't turn. And then mark my other 4 holes. That's about the best way I can think to do it, unless I decide to grind these nubs down. I don't really want to do that, but let me think about this a little bit. I'll decide here in a minute. Well, here's the deal. This little fella here ain't gonna work. I got it where it'll just barely slip over it, but then you line the 5-on-5 up, and the holes in the plastic piece are not dead on. I was hoping they'd be pretty close, but that's off enough. I don't want to use it. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. The hole lines up on this side. Then you got extra showing there. Like this plastic bolt hole circle is just a wee bit too small. I'm not using it. Nope. So the only thing left to do is use this fella here. Put the studs back in here. Bolt that to that. Because remember that slops back and forth. Got to bolt it down. Use the other holes for the guide. And we'll have to grind these ribs off. That's the only thing we can do. These are probably in there for strength. Hopefully, you know, our rotor doesn't fall off of the hub. Anyway, I'm thinking about doing these on the mill, because well, you see this area here's machined where the stud goes, because this is just cast surface. So I really need to machine that. But I don't have anything to hold this down. I ain't got any bolts quite long enough for the hold downs right here. These ones. I'm gonna have to either buy some all thread and make some, or I ain't real sure yet. But I think what we'll do, let's put these on hold, and then I'm gonna go pull the axles out, the rear axles, and we'll start working on them. And then tomorrow I'll go to town, get some all thread or whatever, and make stuff to hold that down with. Well, I got her jacked up, sitting on jack stands, and realized that this drum is still on. This could be a battle. So let's go to whooping on it. Probably right here is the issue. There we go. Woo! That drum don't feel bad. We'll probably use it. There was one over there in the barn, I think, come with this too. I'll have to check it out. But now we got to pull that cover off, pull the C-clips out, pull the axles out. Got to get my drain pan up here, catch all the greases. Loosen this one, but leave it. Get you a prying tool. Pry that little fella open. Well, that's all that was in it. With some nasty, nasty sludge too. Reminds me, I never checked the rear end grease and lockjaw. So, yeah. As soon as this little feller can move off the lift, I gotta get it in here. That ain't pretty. That ain't pretty at all. Nope. Whole lot of rust on that pan. We'll have to clean that off and get all this sludge out. Yeah. I got to turn it till I find that little bolt. Pull it out, pull the pin out, push the axles in, and get the C-clips out. There, the little feller is right there. Let me get a wrench. Oh, yeah. Awesome. This pin has got to come out. There it is. Then I got to push the axles in after I get this turned where I can see stuff. All right, now you push this axle in. That C-clip fell out. I'll have to get it out with a magnet. Then you push this one in, get this. Oh! I like to cut my hand off. Anyway, oh, I like to cut my finger off right then. I need to quit going to the house, man. What in the world? Got that one loose. There's the axles. Let me pull them out and we'll go back to the machine shop. This housing and the axles, it's pretty disgusting. Look at that bearing. Look inside the housing. We will have to knock the bearings out and flush the tubes, and then we'll flush that housing out too because it's pretty nasty. I'll spray the gears down. Look at the sludge. I'll spray the gears down real good. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Look at the axles up here. They got rust all over them too. Yep, sure do. Pretty disgusting. Look like it's been underwater and it's got barnacles on it or something. Anyways, let's clean these up. Then we'll go to the machine shop with them. Here's what we got to do to the axles. Remember, I was going to use this. Well, you know, it's not right. I think the circle diameter is just a wee bit too small. So we got to use our adapter like we're going to use on the front ones. Well, this register's too big, so we got to cut it down. We got to cut it down anyway for the wheel to fit because it's really big on the 6 lug. We're going to cut it down where this barely fits over it tight. And then we're going from 6 lug to 5 lug. So we got to, well, I've seen them online, they only weld up 1 hole. Well, I can't make it work out right where the holes don't overlap unless you weld up 2. So I'm welding up 2 next to each other. After I do that, we'll put it in the lathe, turn this down, and then we can drill our holes. Well, I got her running within about 3-ish thousandths. I think that's good enough for what we do around here. Let us begin the cutting. All right, that was just a cleanup pass. Let's see what we got to do. This one here is about 3 inches and 80. What is this one right here? It is approximately 3 and 5/30. So we got almost ½ inch we got to take off. We are really close. That is 89. What do we have to go to? I don't recall exactly. 86. We're really close. Let's just see. No, we ain't there yet. Let me take another 5 off. That's about 4-ish right there. Do it fit? No, sir. I'll just start taking 1/1000th at a time. Well, if I can get this off of there, it's stuck. That means we're really close. 1/1000th. Right there. What about now? Look at there, fellas. Well, let's go one more. It won't quite go. Remember me telling you this leg tapers a little bit? Well, that's what it's doing right here. Actually, let's hit it with some sandpaper. See if that don't help. Take a little bit off this backside. That's all we needed with just a little bit of sanding. Oh, yeah. Let's get this little feller out and drill these holes. Now I've got this feller where I want it, where these holes will be in between the existing holes. Take my transfer punch. This doesn't fit as tight as I want, but it's pretty tight. We're going to do this right here. Go a 1 pow. We got a mark. Now I've got to figure out a way to get this on the drill press over there where we can drill it. That's the next challenge. Well, to the best of my abilities, I've got this lined up. I had to get a little magnifying glass and a flashlight. Best I can tell, it's centered up on that. I just got this clamped to the side of the table. That's the only thing I can do. Let's see what happens. Let me get my glasses on. Come on, man. Ooh, that like to have took my head off right there. Man, that would have hurt because that is solid. Golly. All right, we're through that one. We got to go to this. Let me get the stud. I'll show you. Here's a stud, 1/2 inch threads, but the knurl right there, that's what's going to stick through this hole. The knurls are there to keep it in the hole. That way it makes it a lot easier to get the wheel on. Well, it's 5/8. So you need to go, I don't know, 10 thousandths under. The closest thing I've got is a 39/64. It's going to have to do. But we want to, I'm going to step it up. This was 1/4, probably a 3/8, and then maybe a 1/2, and then that 39/64. Got her changed out to a 3/8. Let's hit it, boys. This drill bit is a tapered shank, so we have to use a different apparatus here. Put that feller out. See, that's tapered. You just jam it up in there. It's held in by friction. Well, this drill bit, 39/64, same way. You gotta have this little adapter to make it fit this size right here. Here we go. Well, it won't go down far enough. So I've got to raise the table up. We're about out of travel on our table here too. Yep. Man, that is wobbling terrible. That, yeah, if I didn't waller it out too big, it'd be a miracle, sure enough. No, there's still a little bit there, so it might work. But we have a new issue. I'm gonna bolt this because we're done drilling this hole. Let me show you the new issue here in a minute. There's our hole. Here's our stud. See how it's got a little head on it? Well, that head's gonna hit this lip, that step up. So we can't drive that in just yet. We might kick it over sideways. I gotta chuck this back up in the lathe backwards from what it was and turn this back, I don't know, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, somewhere in there will be plenty. I got to do that because I have to put a stud in, get it jammed in, and then put this on and tighten it down in place. And then we can mark the rest of our holes. All right, we got to get this feller in here. We got to get this feller unlocked. Come on, man. Get it in here, in that center hole. Lock her down. Tighten her up. Let's see how it's going to run. Just fine and dandly. Let me get this in place. And we'll go to cutting that down to put a different tool in. Yep. Yeah, put your cutter a wee bit below center. All right, let me get my glaces on. Where'd they go? I don't know. Let us do the cutty cut. I have to lock this down. The what is this called? The saddle. If you don't, it'll walk back. You have to use this to turn the cutter in each time. We're gonna go about that much the first pass. I only need to go, oh, well, I just broke my cutter. So that's good. What in the devil caused that? Somebody ground on this little, I don't know what you call it. It's what your cutter bolts to. Well, somebody grounded. Somebody's ground on this one. My father was pretty bad about modifying tools. He probably ground that back, and the cutter had no support, and it just snapped the end of it off. All right, let's try this again. That's probably plenty, but let me make sure. All right, is that going to be enough? Oh yeah, that's more than enough. All right, let me cut her on back. I'll be back in a minute. I think this is the last pass right here. We're going to stop and look at it. Yeah, where's my stud? Not me, but the stud. What do we think? We got enough room? Oh yeah, more than enough room. All right, let's go bang this in, and we'll continue drilling holes. Well, here's the deal, fellers. This ain't gonna work. Nope. Remember that last drill bit I used? I said something about it was really wobbly. Well, it wallered that hole out pretty bad. Yep. That's showing 650, 52, 53. This is 625. It left just a wee bit at the bottom of the hole. See that lip? That it didn't waller out. That's the only thing that would be holding this and centering it up. And I don't think I want to do that. I can weld the hole back up and do it again, but I'm starting to get aggravated at all this because ain't none of it working out right. Let me figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm fixing to go to the house because my legs and knees are killing me. I really haven't gotten nothing done today. Nope, sure ain't. Anyway, let me ponder on this a little bit. I decided to hammer that stud on in, and yep, it's just as wobbly as it can be. No, can't do that. I'm going to the house. This is extremely aggravating. I've got nothing done today. Only thing I know to do, weld that hole up, drill it out again. I ain't doing it tonight though. See y'all tomorrow. Well, here's what I got done. I welded up the hole that I goofed. Then I welded up these two holes and this axle, ground them down smoothly. Went to town, got some all thread for hole downs for the, what's that called over there? The mill. I got a box of wheel studs over there. Let me show you that real quick. Like, here's the one that came out of the rotor. See this area here where all the serrations are? That's what you call a shoulder. Well, it's too thick for those axles. They're only 5/16 thick, the flange on them axles. So I got these ones instead. It's a shorter, whatever you call that shoulder. That's why I got them. They're not cheap either. They would have been like $3.79 a piece for these. But my this and that garage account discount like $2.69. That's a lot better, but still too much, I think. Anyway, what we're fixing to do, we're going to try to drill this one out again on that drill press over there. The reason I didn't use it yesterday, it doesn't like drilling big holes. Anything over 1/2 inch, it ain't really made for. But we're going to try it, and I found some different drill bits to try. Well, I went over to Mom's a little while ago and put the dial indicator right here on that drill press, and it's got like 3 thousandths run out. So why it watered that hole out 40 thousandths, I ain't got a clue. Anyway, let's get set up over there and see if we can't drill a hole out there. Are we gonna mess this one up? Well, I hope not. I'm gonna tighten this down. Where's it at? This in here. I've already tightened the twisty part over here. Keep this from flexing as much as I can. This is how I can tell if I've got this lined up or not. You watch real close. You bring it down and then mash it down. If your drill bit slips one way or the other, then you know it ain't exactly lined up. I'll do it this way and then this way. That ain't bad. It'll center itself up some, but I want to get it as close as I can. Two different drill bits. We can't use the one we used last night because it's a taper shank. I don't want to put it in the lathe and turn it down straight. So we're doing this. This is a 9/16. We're going to do it next. Trying to creep up on the hole. Then this one is about a 600 or so. It needs to be 610. I'm hoping this thing won't wobble no more than about 10 thousandths. That's the plan. Let me see if these need to be sharpened. They do. Let me sharpen. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. Keep your fingers and toes crossed. Let's put a little bit of Earl on that. I ain't really sure I sharpened that real good. Last one, hopefully. Come on, man. Well, I'll get it in a minute. I don't think I sharpened it good enough. You know, because it's only cutting about 30 thousandths right on the outside edge of that drill bit. I think it's through. Well, I want that come loose. Golly, man. All right. Let's see what it does. Got a pretty good burr, so I'm going to knock that off real quick with this countersink. Now, how big is it? Did we wobble it out pretty bad, or? No, sir, that's about 15, 16. I think this might work. Let me get one of the new ones. Fingers crossed. Well, it ain't wobbly, so that's good. Let's get it over in the vise and get our adapter thingamabob on it. All right, will this go back on? Look at there. See, this still wobbles, but this has got just a wee bit of taper. I can put more taper on it if I want to, but as soon as I find a lug nut that'll fit, this might fit right here. What we'll do, put that feller on there. That's gonna center that hole up. If I had a wrench, I'd tighten that up. Tighten this up just a wee bit, make sure that it's gonna center that. And I mean, it's gonna have just a wee bit of play, but not much, maybe just a few thousandths. Then what we're gonna do is gonna come over here opposite of it, mark us another hole. Let me show you this trick here. One of y'all had mentioned this. I think we were working on this in here when I was doing the distributor thing. I needed to mark a hole in something. I didn't have a punch right size, so I had to make one. One of y'all said, well, just wrap some notebook paper around it and just tear a little bit off until you know it fits. Well, that's what we're doing here because this fit a little loose. One wrap is all I needed. There you go. Let's whoop on it. Make sure we marked. Oh yeah, just pretty as you please. Oh, wait a minute, it's falling out of the vise. That ain't good. Loosen this. Make my punch mark a little bit better. All right, I'm gonna go drill 4 more holes out. Fingers crossed. Cross this finger. I'm crossing my big toes too, that I don't mess this up this time. Well, here's the deal, fellers. This has turned into a disaster, just like everything else we do around here. Yep. See this hole here? She's watered out too big. Yep. See this hole here? It's just destroying my drill bits. I knew axles were hard. I didn't know they were as hard as these are being. I have drilled axles before and never had this much trouble. I don't know what's going on. MLS. You know, this is MLS Central. Those who don't know what MLS is, by the way, my last name is Morris. MLS is something Daddy come up with many years ago called Morris-Lux syndrome. It's Murphy's Law times 1 gajillion. Yep. If it can't happen, it will, and it's going to be terrible. Anyway. So some of y'all ask every week, you know, what is MLS? Well, there you go. Now you know. Let me turn the camera back around and show you some things that we're going to try to get these holes in this axle. First thing you do when you're drilling hard metal, slow your drill press down. Well, you can use lubricant, oil, cutting fluid. We're using this right here. That ain't helping a whole lot, but we still need to use it. Then your drill bit angle. You can change it. You want a flatter angle if you're drilling hard stuff. Well, let me show you this first. It's a drill bit sharpening apparatus. You do that right there and it sharpens it. I use it from time to time. I'm going to start using it a lot more because my eyesight is just terrible now. And I'm getting where I can't see it good enough to sharpen it. Anyway, right here you can change the angle of the drill bit. I got it on 68, which is what they call a 135 degree drill bit angle. I've already done, is it this one here? Yeah, that's one of them right there. See that angle compared to this one right here? See the difference in them two angles? The flatter angle is what you want to use drilling hard metal. So these 5 drill bits that we're using for there, I'm going to sharpen all them at the 135 degree angle. Hopefully, you know, we can get this done. This is what happens, fellas, when you try to use what you got. That's what we have done around here from day one. And I will continue to do that. I don't go just buy stuff willy-nilly. Nope. If I think I can make it work with what I got, that's what I'm going to do. That's what we're going to try. But you have to wait till next week. Yep, we are out of time. It's Friday evening. This video has to come out tomorrow night. Yep, so you'll have to wait till next week. We ain't got nothing done. I put in 4 lowering springs. That's really all we got accomplished. And fooled around with this mess here for a couple of days. That's the way it goes sometimes. I have been out of pocket a bunch last week. Well, we come out with Lockjaw's video 2 days late. So that took time away from this video. I had to fly to North Carolina for 2 days for a funeral. And then, had the 4th of July weekend. So basically, I didn't have any time last week to work on it. That's the way it goes. Next week, well, no, I ain't saying it. I was going to say we will get it done. Let me say this. Next week, we will attempt to get this truck done. Will we? I don't know. You'll just have to wait and see. But the good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I will see y'all on the next one.